Hey everyone, I hope you are well. So in this video demo tutorial, I'm going to talk just a little bit about painting. This week that we're going to be doing, we're going to be painting the portrait. So we're going to do an alla prima, and basically alla prima means all in one day. So you're doing a painting all in one day. You're getting it completely done, and you probably have several hours to do it. So there's some things that I want to talk about in this very short, I'm going to try and make a short intro. I want to talk about some of our supplies. I also want to talk about our palette and mixtures. That way you got a little bit of understanding of what it's being, how to at least start this project, because I think that's what's most important is how to start it, and what your materials are. So, first, I'm going to talk a little bit about the materials. You want to have all of your 5 brushes available, because you never know what you might need, because you can use your flat. You can also use your angle brush for bigger brush strokes, and then you can use your filbert for bigger brush strokes and some curve strokes for the face, or you can use your round. So you can use all of them, and now when I paint, you probably will see how much I'm using out of our 5 paintbrushes. So you're also going to need, dun dun dun, you're going to need your palette knife, and then you're going to need your paint. So remember, we're dealing with a Zorn palette. So this is the Zorn palette. We're using our titanium white. We're only using 4 colors, you guys. We're also using our lamp black. Remember, our Zorn palette is a little different than the actual palette. So we're also using our cadmium yellow light that's here. Let's see if my phone adjusts. And then we're also using our cadmium red medium. So we're using that as well. So we only have 4 colors. You shouldn't have any more than that. So another thing that you want to make sure you have is your cups for your water. And there's one more thing that I'm going to introduce to you guys, and I know you guys did not have this in your kits, but it's something that's good to know. So I have golden. I normally paint with golden paints. So I have golden, which is the extra heavy gel molding paste. So what this does that I love about it is it's actually this kind of milky molding substance. It's not really milky, it's very thick. It's almost like a cream or a what is that called? That would help. Or like a cream cheese consistency. You know, with cream cheese, when you dip into it, it's soft, but you can dip into it, but it also it's very firm. So that's what this is. So what this does, which is the extra heavy gel molding paste, you can take, and I'm going to move this just for a bit so I can talk about my palette a bit. So you can take a color, let's say you have your 4 colors for your Zorn palette. So you can see in my palette that I have a lot of heavy paint because I was using the mold. So what it does, it extends your paint. The binding that's in here is about the same amount of binding that's in your paint. So let's say I take this yellow that's here, and it's just a little bit, and I'm like, oh, you know, I like this color and I just kind of want to extend it. I don't want to use up all of my paint, so I'm taking some of this heavy molding gel that's here so you can see the consistency of it, and you mix it in. You can see how it's extending that paint, and it's also making it thicker. So I like it a lot because I'm mainly a oil painter. I don't really use acrylic a lot. My go-to is oils. But what I love about acrylic paint is there's a lot of things that are out there to kind of help you. So having an extender like this, it not only makes my paint thicker and feel more like oil paint, because it's normally a thicker consistency, But it also helped me extend my paint. So that means that I'm not going through my paint as fast as I would normally do and have to repurchase. So I just wanted to introduce that to you guys because it was introduced to me and I absolutely love it. So once again, I just wanted to introduce. You don't have to go out and buy it, but if you're interested, you go out and purchase it. I'm pretty sure you can get it at any art store, as well as you can get it possibly on Amazon or online. So enough about that. I want to talk just a little bit about my palette because the one thing that I'm noticing with some of you guys is that you are getting very confused when it comes to mixing and how to mix. And I really want to talk just a little bit about this Zorn palette. I know you guys have a chart that can kind of help you, but you also got to keep in mind our colors are slightly different because these are colors that are from our actual palette in class. So our Zorn palette, which is here, is titanium white and then a Hansen yellow, as well as it's cadmium red, and it's also our lamp black. So as you can see, took this palette and mixed all of my skin tones that I can see. Which I know I'm pretty close. I know I'm not that far off with some of these skin tones. So in this area is my lighter skin tones. Then I have some mid-tones that are here. Then I have some of my shadow mixtures. So you want to always pre-mix your palette. I can't stress that enough. If you're going in and you're thinking you can mix just a little bit here, mix just a little bit there, and mixing with your brushes, you are going to have a muddy palette. You want to keep your colors as pure as possible. That's very important. Yes, I can go in and mix some of these colors together to get other colors. I definitely can do that. But you want to make sure that you pre-mix. So you have some of these pre-mixtures. They're pure colors. They're not muddy. And it's something that's there that you just dip into. So take out the time to pre-mix the colors that you are seeing in your light mask of the portrait, as well as in your shadow mask of the portrait, because you're going to need that. So what I normally do when I'm drawing or painting the portrait is I try to mix at least 3 colors. 3 colors in my light mask, 3 colors for midtones, 3 colors for shadow mask. And I normally start with that because the portrait, when we look at people, you may see one local value. So, but that local value tends to, those colors, local colors, tends to change in temperature. It could be warm, it could be cool, and you want to keep that in mind and be very sensitive to that because we have a lot of different hues in our skin tone. A lot of different hues in our skin tone. We're just not one color, and it doesn't vary from light to dark. Just values, it definitely does that, but it also varies with temperature, and you want to keep that in mind. So some colors can be cool, some colors can be warm, some colors can be cool, warm. This is still warm. Some colors can be cool. It's a little warm, but it's a lot cooler than these. So you want to pay attention to those things. So when I mix these colors, because we have 4 colors, remember, you can mix a lot of colors with those 4 colors. I came in with this color that's here. This color that is here is pretty much just a base color. I know that my image that I'm painting from, her skin is very light. It's fair, but it also has a yellow tint to it. It also has red tints to it as well. So I wanted to come in with a kind of a yellowish color because I know that I can lighten this color by adding white, or I can get it a little bit more orange by adding some red, and get it even more peachy by adding red and white to it, and probably less of this yellowy color. So you want to think about that. I would start with a base color that's here, and how I mixed this base color, you guys. I came in with yellow. I also came in with red mixed out together. You want to get a orangey color, and you don't want it to be too saturated, meaning you're gonna have to kick it down. And what I mean by that is, let me get my color wheel. So for me, I would say you probably want to get to possibly a yellow orange, because if you look here, this color that's here, although it's not exact, but it's very similar to this. So that means this is our saturated colors that are here. And then as these colors move closer to the center of the color wheel, they become desaturated. So what I did is I add black, because I don't really have the complement, but I know black is a really, really dark blue. And also I know that in order to get a blue violet, you need red, and you also need blue. So we already have red in our mixture because we have yellow orange. And what makes yellow orange? Red and yellow. And then I know that black is a very, very dark blue. So what I did is I mixed the color, got that yellow orange, came in with just a little bit of white, just a little bit, not a lot, just to lighten it up and give it a tint. And I came in with also my black, a little bit of black, because this lamp black is a heavy shade type of black, so you just need a little bit. And you want to get to this color as much as possible, because this is kind of the color that I'm seeing on my actual figure. And as you can see here, if you look at these colors that are here, which are these are tints, you can kind of see here that this is a orangey color as well, and it's very similar to that color. And that's just because it's a little bit more red, because it's orange, a little bit more red, less red, and then also I add white. So guys, it's always good to have a color wheel with you. Mixing is not easy. Understanding color is not easy. So having some type of reference to kind of help you through the process definitely helps. Another thing that will help is the Zorn chart. Like I said, although we don't have his exact colors, our colors are similar. But the thing is, we would have to come in and mix our desaturated colors. So I just wanted to talk about that and how I got to this base color. So what I did is I took this base color, and then from this color, I made my lighter tones. So I added white to it. Here, added a little bit more red, and also white to it. Here, a lot more red, and a little bit more white to it. And then I started getting into my mid-tones, so I added a little bit of black to it. That's why we got this kind of very, very desaturated, kind of beigey, brownish yellow color in a way. And then here I wanted a reddish mid-tone, because her lips has red in it, and it's just the blood of her lips, because she doesn't really have a lot of makeup on. And then I wanted to keep my shadow colors simple, so I came in and I got some darks in my shadow, as well as I got like possibly a value 8, a value 6 or 7, and then probably a value 5 or 6 here. But I wanted to get some of these, keep it simple, and also this is not the darkest dark that's on her. The darkest dark that is on her is her black hair. So here I haven't even gotten to my 9s or my 10s. So I really wanted to make sure that that shadow is darker than her midtones and her light mask. But I also wanted to make sure that it's not as dark as the black of her hair. So I just wanted to talk just a little bit about that, because I noticed you guys are having a little bit of problem with mixing your paint. And once again, you gotta keep in mind, painting it takes time. It takes a lot of time, because you have to pre-mix and get things down with those mixtures. Another thing that definitely helps too, when you're trying to just gauge color and try to get the right color if you can. It's taking, and I'll probably try and do this and insert the photo that I'm working from, but mix your color, and I'm just going to take a little bit of my color, and as you can see, I can move it around the color wheel, or if I had my photo, I can match it to what colors I'm seeing on my photo. So with this, you kind of want to close one eye and start to match colors, but you can definitely do this, and it helps with matching colors. So this definitely works. So just keep that in mind as well. All right, you guys. So just a little intro to help with that. By all means, I am not going to be able to complete this demo, but I at least wanted you guys to get a start of the demo. So another thing I want to talk about, and hopefully you guys, I sent you a link about the portrait drawing. So I'm actually working, I know you guys are going to be working on Stonehenge paper. I'm working on a panel. You can see this is my panel. I do not want you guys to get confused. So don't look at this demo and you're like, oh, am I supposed to use my panel? No, you're going to use your Stonehenge paper. So as you can see, I came in with my underpainting. So in my demo, the drawing demo that I sent you guys, it basically goes over how to draw a portrait. So for me, as you can see, even in that demo, I leave a lot of my planar shifts of the face. So I leave them in because I know I have an idea for where my highlights are going to be. I know I have an idea of where some of my darker midtones are going to be. And some, even here, as we move darker and midtones into our shadow edge. So when I painted the face, I drew everything in. I used you guys have burnt umber, so you can use burnt umber. I used a burnt sienna, but it's still that brown underpainting. Once I had my drawing all the way down, then I came in, I separated my light mask from my dark mask. I also darkened in her hair, so I know when that's dark, she's wearing a black shirt. So that's dark as well. So I came in with a 2 value tone. So now I know what's in my shadow mask, that's blocked out, what's in my light mask, and that's all blocked out. So when I'm painting, I know right away what colors I'll be using for what section of the painting. And so I know for my light mask, I'm probably going to be more in these color ranges, and maybe dip into that just a little bit. And I know for my shadow mask, I'm going to be in more of these color ranges. So I already have those things separated for me. So that's another reason why you want to pre-mix ahead of time, because it's just going to help you with painting in time. So you want to make sure that when you're drawing, your portrait has these kind of mapped out areas. So when you start to paint, you know where to kind of put certain paints in certain areas, certain colors in certain areas. So that's the thing about having a linear structured drawing. Because you know right away where your highlight is, where the top of a bone is, or let's say the side of the cheekbone. You have those things that are there for you. Alright guys, so I hope this intro helped. It actually went longer than I wanted to, but I think these are very, very important notes that you need. So in the next clip of this video, I'm going to demonstrate painting the face. So I may or may not talk because I might have to speed up the process. That way this demo is longer than what it needs to be, because we're always on the time crunch in class. So I'll see you guys in the next clip. Hey everyone, so I am back. I just want to say a couple of things on how I'm going to address my painting. So I'm going to start with painting the background and then also the hair and then also her shirt. I'm doing that because I want to soften some edges in the hair. So even when you're painting, you're still thinking about your edges. You don't want to have these cut out shapes or forms. You want to think about how things are getting soft in the hair, where it's blurred out or where it's lost edges or some sharp edges. You want to make sure you're thinking about that in everything, not just the hair, but also that shadow edge as well. So, I probably would not be talking, but I just wanted to get that down. So once again, I already have my colors pre-mixed, and you may see some other paintbrushes because I like to use a lot of paintbrushes when I paint. So I just wanted to get that across really fast. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Alright, you guys, so this is the best she is getting right now. Yes, there's a lot that I can do, but I think this is a good enough demo. So you get a very clear idea. I have a lot of editing to do, and hopefully I can get this video down to a time that makes sense and is not a movie. But I hope this helped. Doing portraits takes a lot of time. It's not something you can kind of speed through. You can spend a lot of time on it. But this is pretty much my process. I know everybody else's process is different. But this is mine. So hopefully this helps. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.